Hi, and welcome to the Tea on Taxes. My name is Gin Nixon. I'm an AFSP tax analyst here at R&F Tax Group in Clear Lake, Houston, Texas. Today I'm recording from home because it's snowing outside. Now, if this is your first time here, this is where we sip some tea and I spill the tea, as the kids like to say, to help make your taxes simple and stress-free. Just some background on me. See, years ago, I was a divorced mom of 4 little kids, and I was doing everything I could to make ends meet. I was hustling, and I was selling on eBay, Etsy, Amazon. I mean, I was even trying it in real estate. Someone even let me assist with mortgages. When I first got my real estate license, though, I actually learned a lot about investment properties, and that kind of spurred my tax interest. And what I wanted to do was help my clients who purchase rentals to save more, and that's when I decided to go ahead and take a tax course from one of those big name companies. We won't mention their names. And let me tell you, it really opened my eyes. I mean, that course taught me everything I need to know about individual taxes. We're talking 1040 forms, small business deductions, tax credits, and even strategies for retirement and savings. And get this, before we could even get into their tax software, we had to learn how to do everything manually by hand. I mean, no computers, no shortcuts at all. Just calculators, forms, and good old scratch paper. I mean, it was weeks of intense practice, but honestly, it gave me the foundation that I have relied on ever since. I mean, I still use it whenever I look at my tax returns. I make sure that the form is correct. Now, fast forward a bit, I got married to a really wonderful man. We moved to a new state, and I ended up finding myself with some extra time on my hands since I didn't have to work, and I just go ahead and decided to dive deeper into my crafts. And I've always been a creative at heart, so I even tried to turn some of my hobbies into a business. I mean, but let's be real, okay? It's way more labor intensive than I wanted to take on. I mean, I just couldn't make things fast enough to meet demand. So I just set the dream aside, okay? But I did eventually find my way back to what I truly loved, and that is helping people. This time it's with their taxes. Now, between my experiences as an online seller, a real estate professional, and a small business owner, I mean, I've been in the trenches. I know firsthand how confusing this stuff can get. In fact, I still have a side hustle for the past 10 years as a travel agent. Travel has been in my blood for over decades. Now, planning a dream vacation is something I do love doing, and yet it has taught me even more about how to run a business and keeping track of all of those all-important deductions. So when I share these tips with you, they're not just things I picked up from a course or read in a book like, I don't know, Small Business for Dummies, right? These are hard-earned lessons from years of trial and error and testing these things out on myself and advising my clients with their businesses. So my goal is always to go ahead and take the headache out of taxes and to help keep more of your hard-earned money in your pocket. So let's go ahead and make your taxes work for you, okay? So today, I'm going to dive into one of my favorite topics, which is hidden deductions for crafters. Because if you sell your crafts, whether it's online, at craft fairs, or even just to friends, you could really be leaving money on the table. And we want to make sure that doesn't happen. So I'm going to go ahead and break this down for you. I'm going to do this step by step, and I'm going to share some hidden deductions that you can use to save on money, plus also a few tips to go ahead and make the process easier. Okay, now the first thing is your supplies and material. Now, I know this is going to seem obvious, but it's actually something that's pretty easy to miss. And I want you to think about all the materials that you use when you're making your projects. I mean, just think about all of them. I'm talking the yarn, the fabric, paint, beads, glitter, you name it. I mean, you're going to want to even include stuff like thread, glue, all those adorable little embellishments that you just can't resist buying because they're just so cute. All of that counts. Now, here's the tip. If you want to make sure to go ahead, that you have everything, you want to make sure to keep a running list of your supplies as you buy them, and you want to make sure you put what you paid for them. I mean, you can use a simple notebook, an app, or even like a Google spreadsheet. And if you do shop at stores like Michael's or Joann's, if they're still in business, just make sure you save your receipts. And but you can also use their rewards program to track your purchases. I mean, trust me, I know expenses like this, they'll add up faster than we think, which is why it's so important to go ahead and track them as you get them. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at your tools and equipment. We're talking like crochet hooks, knitting needles, sewing machines, embroidery machines, cutting mats, craft tables. I mean, these are all deductible if you're using them for business. Now, if it's a bigger purchase like a circuit machine or some type of professional grade sewing machine, you might be able to go ahead and spread out that deduction over several years using depreciation, because it will have a lifespan of longer than a year. Now, here's the story. I did have a client who did forget actually to include her circuit machine as a deduction, and because she thought, oh, I use it, sparingly. I said, well, once we added that to her expenses, she actually saved over $3,000 on taxes, and that's like combined with self-employment. And now you also want to make sure you're not forgetting things like maintenance and repair on your tools as well, because that counts. Let's go ahead and look at your workspace. I mean, do you have a dedicated area in your home where you craft? I know I have a craft room. It's a mess. I'm not showing it right now. But even if it's a small corner of your dining room or section of your guest room, it actually may qualify for home office deduction. Now, I know this one scares people because they think the IRS is going to show up on the door and then they'll be like, I'm measuring their space and just making sure that, is this really what you're doing? I don't want you to worry about that, because that's so rare. But they do have what they call is the simplified method, and it is a super easy way to calculate it. You just make sure that the space is only used for business, and that's just the main thing. You need to not double it up as your snacking station or your gaming setup, nothing like that. Just do your crafting, that's it. All right, so the next thing, shipping costs, because if you sell crafts online, this one's a biggie. I mean, you have shipping fees, packing materials, like bubble wrap boxes or even tape that you use to seal the packages. I mean, those are all deductible. And I don't want you to forget the little extras, because I know you guys are putting extras in there. I get them when I get your stuff. So if you add like those thank you cards, the stickers, or like branded tissue paper to your packages, I mean, those are all business expenses too. I actually have one of my clients who uses custom stamps for her logo, and we can actually deduct that because it's part of her business. So that was 4 tips. Let me just give you 3 more. I know we're like really going on time here. Marketing expenses. I mean, do you pay for like a website or an Etsy shop? Those fees are deductible. Running ads on social media, deductible. Business cards, flyers, or banners for craft fairs. You guessed it, deductible. Also, if you're using apps or online tools for creating your graphics or mock-ups like Canva, and if you've got Canva Pro, that's deductible. I mean, those subscription costs count too. Now, are you taking any classes to go ahead and learn a new skill, or maybe you want to improve the one that you've got? Maybe you're watching business strategy webinars or buying books about selling on Etsy. All of these can be deductible if it's related to growing your business. Okay. Here's another example. I once attended a workshop on investment trends for reducing tax liability. I know this isn't about crafting, but it will give you the point. Not only did I learn a ton, but I also got to deduct the cost of the class and my travel expenses to this event. So it was a win-win because it had to do with my business. Now, there are some deductions that don't fit neatly into just one category that or any of the categories I just mentioned, but let's just go over them quick. There'll be like membership fees for professional organizations you may belong to. So if you belong to like maybe the American Crafters Council. Entry fees for like the craft fairs or vendor events, that's part of it. Any commissions you pay, some of your internet and phone expenses if you use them for your business, even a part of your car expenses if you drive to events or you deliver orders locally. Now, all of the deductions are great, but the key to making them work for you is good record keeping. But here's some quick tips on how you can go ahead and stay organized. First, use a dedicated business bank account or credit card to keep your expenses separate from your personal stuff. Also, save every receipt. Yes, even the little ones. Digital receipts count too. You want to consider using either like a bookkeeping app, or you can even hire a professional if you've got the funds to help you stay on top of things. But you can absolutely do that. Just remember that if the IRS ever questions you, having documentation can make all the difference, okay? So crafters and artists, I hope this episode has opened your eyes or at least helped you in some way to the many deductions that you can have and that you can take advantage of. We talked about supplies, from shipping to marketing. There's so many ways that you can save if you just know where to look, okay? If you do feel overwhelmed or if you're really unsure where to start, don't worry. That's what I'm here for. Ooh, didn't mean to hit the mic. But that's what I'm here for. So just drop your questions in the comments, or you can click the link in the description to go ahead and schedule a free consultation with me. I can easily talk to you for 30 minutes. You can even grab my free business tracker or tax prep checklist down below too. If you're already clear and you just want some way to kind of see how to go about it. Also, if you have found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit that bell, and so you don't miss the next episode of the Tea on Taxes. Okay. Until next time, cheers to sippin' and savin'.